All right, Unit 3, Section 2. Parallel lines and transversals we just talked about. Now we're going to add algebra in there. We can use what they do. Either they're congruent, so I set this equal to that, or they're supplementary. This plus that equals 180. I just have to know how they mix. So in the directions it says, if line L is parallel to line M, classify the marked angle pair and give their relationship, then solve for x. So how are they together? Okay. That's what we're looking for. So classifying the pair and give their relationship and then solve for x. Okay. So these two angles here in number 1, they're in the same spot on the same side of the transversal. So those are what are called corresponding. And corresponding angles are congruent. So that means 58 is equal to 5x minus 2. Because they're congruent, means they're the same. So 58 is the same as 5x minus 2. So whatever x is, jumped a little bit, has to multiply 5 times, subtract 2, make it there. So let's add 2 to both sides. 60 equals 5x. Get rid of the 5. Okay, so x equals, let's see, 5 goes into 6 once with 1 left over. So that'd be 12. Okay. Switch back to red. That's my color of power. All right, these are on opposite sides of the transversal, so they're alternate. They're on the outside, so they're exterior, which is going to make them congruent. So 16x plus 22 equals 134 degrees. Subtract the 22. 16x equals, let's see, 4 minus 2 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. That's 112 divided by 16. Okay. That's going to be 7. Okay. Now, that's drawing a line in there. I'm just going to write it in there and do 7x minus 1. They're both inside and they're on opposite sides. So those are alternate interior angles, which makes them congruent. 7x minus 1 equals 125. Add 1. 7x equals 126. Divide by 7. So x is 18. Okay. Now that one's a little too tight, but they're both inside and they're on the same side. Same side, supplementary SSSSSSS. So that means 9x, that's an 8. Wrong number. 9x plus 2 plus 133 is going to be equal to 180 degrees. So 9x plus 135 equals 180 degrees. Subtract 135. 9x equals, let's see, 7. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 3 is 4. 1s are gone. Divide by 9. X equals 5. Oh, yeah. And they were consecutive interior angles, and that makes them supplementary. Forgot to write that down. Okay. That's my last one. Oh, 2 variables. Cool. All right, so I'll work these last 2 with you, and then you can try 7 and 8. So let's look at 5. They're on the opposite side, so they're alternate. They're on the outside, so they're alternate exterior, which means they're congruent. And you can even tell by the look of them. So 8x minus, that's a plus sign. It's a shaky hand is what that is. Minus 77 equals 3x plus 38. Now they both have letters in them, so subtract 3x, get the x's on one side. Move the numbers. See, that's a 15, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Divided by 5. X equals, excuse me, goodness gracious, 23, looks like. Now, number 6, those are in the same, those are corresponding. Corresponding angles are congruent. So 11x minus 47 equals 6x minus 2. Move the x's to the one side. Add 47. Divide by 5. X equals 9. Okay. Give it a pause. Try 7 and 8. Come back. Let's see how it goes. All right. These are both on the inside, but they're on different sides. So these are alternate interior angles, which makes them congruent. So 13x minus 21 equals 5x plus 25. Subtract 5x, get the x's on the same side. 8x minus 21 equals 25. Add 21. Is that what we're going to get? Is that 25? Oh, that's a 75. I was looking at that and I was like, that is not going to math well. 8 doesn't go into 46, but it's a 75. Which is going to make that 8x equals 96. And then we're going to divide by 8. And x equals 12. There we go. Now we're working. Last set. Those aren't corresponding. They're on the same side and they're outside. So those are consecutive exterior. And since they're same side, they're going to be supplementary. So 9x minus 33 plus 5x plus 3. So one part plus another part equals the whole part, which is going to be 180. Right? Remember, part plus part makes the whole thing. 9x's and 5x's is 14x's. Negative 33 and 3 makes negative 30 equals 180. Add 30. 14x equals 210. That's a 0. Divide by 14. So x equals 15. There we go. Found it. Nice. All right. Last one. We got to find x and y. Well, I would solve for x first, and then when we know what one of those is, we can either do a linear pair to solve, or we can do a consecutive interior angles to solve. But we need to know what one of those x sets is first. So let's find x. Well, they happen to be alternate interior angles. So that means that they're equal. So 8x minus 31 equals 6x plus 3. And then we algebra. Okay, we found x. But now that we know x, we need to use it in order to find y. Well, we're going to have to plug it in, because we're going to have to do a supplementary thing to figure out the rest of this business. So I'm going to do 6 times 17 plus 3. Let's bring out my handy dandy trusty calculator. 6 times 17 equals that, plus 3 equals that. So that's 105 degrees, so 105. Or you could put it here, it goes 105. Okay, either way. So what we know is 5y plus 65 plus 105 equals 180. Now, how do we know that works? Well, because this one and that one are consecutive interiors. It means they're same side supplementary. 65 and 105 are together. So 5y plus, let's see, that makes 10 and 60 makes 170 equals 180. Right? Oh, write your problem down right. Plus 35. I was like, we're only going to have 10. That means y is 2. It may not work, but let's give it a go. Well, if you write the problem down, it works a lot better. So 135 plus 105 is not 170, but it's 140. And then we subtract 140. And we do 5y equals 40. And we divide by 5. And y equals 8. Now we should probably check that just to make sure. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 35 is a 75. And 75 and 105 makes 180, a linear pair. So we're good to go. So that's how you do it with algebra. Instead of it just being all degrees, they put some variables in there that you have to solve for to figure out what the degree actually is.